Today we're going to talk about Wellesley, Massachusetts, a tiny little suburb just west of Boston. Let's get started. So like I said, Wellesley is a tiny little suburb about 13 miles from downtown Boston, about 35 miles from Worcester, and it's about 2.5, maybe 3 hours from New York City. You can get to Providence, Rhode Island, you can get to Manchester, New Hampshire, all within an hour as well. So it's a really good location. In addition to that, you have some major highways that go through Wellesley. You have Route 9, which cuts right across east and west. You have 128, which actually doesn't cut through Wellesley, but it's literally on the edge of Wellesley. And you have the Mass Pike, which again doesn't cut through Wellesley, but it's a mile to get there from Wellesley. So in terms of location and commuting, if you're commuting by car, Wellesley is a great location. As far as public schools, you can't beat Wellesley, Massachusetts. Wellesley consistently ranks in the top 10 for the state every year, elementary through high school. There are 6 elementary schools, 1 middle school, 1 high school, and 1 public preschool. In addition to that, there are lots of private schools to choose from. You have 10 Acre School, you have Dana Hall School, you have St. John's School, and you have a bunch of private preschools. So whether you want to go to public school or private school, you have lots of options. Most kids do go to public school, so right now their enrollment pre-K through 12 in Wellesley is about 4,000. Wellesley is the home to 3 colleges. You have Mass Bay Community College, you have Wellesley College, and you have Babson College. So there's lots of young people in and around Wellesley all the time. Getting in and around Wellesley isn't always easy, but if you're someone that likes public transportation, you have lots of options. You have the Green Line, which is our version of the subway. You have the commuter rail, which is the train, and you have some micro transit options within Wellesley. There's also public transportation options for the elderly and for those with handicap. So Wellesley does take care of its residents and does its best to offer different options for getting about in and around the town and commuting outside the town. When it comes to demographics, your typical Wellesley resident is very well educated, is in their late 30s, 40s, has a median income of over $200,000. When it comes to recreation, restaurant shopping, there's a lot that Wellesley offers. There's a ton of shopping, and I don't mean big box store shopping. I mean unique stores, small boutiques. There's lots of restaurants. There's always a new restaurant popping up in Wellesley. Wellesley also has a few little pockets of shopping. You have Linden Square that offers regular shopping in terms of like food shopping and things like that for errands, but also some really nice restaurants and a lot of really cute boutiques. You have Central Square as well, and then you have Wellesley Farms. So you do have different pockets in Wellesley where there is shopping, restaurants, and things to do. Wellesley also has Lake Waban, it has Morse Pond, it has a ton of walking trails and parks and open fields. So there's a lot of open green space in Wellesley. Okay, now let's talk real estate. Wellesley has a pretty diverse style of homes. You can find smaller capes in tighter knit communities and neighborhoods, and you can find some really big estates that are set back, spread out in Wellesley. So there's sort of a style and a size and a neighborhood for everyone. However, living in Wellesley is not cheap. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. Let's not beat around the bush. As far as single family homes, the cheapest one that sold last year was just under $800,000. And the most expensive home that sold in last year was over $6 million. Most homes are gonna go from 1.5 to about $3 or $4 million. As far as actual numbers, so last year 11 homes sold for under $1 million. I'm gonna look at my notes here. 191 sold between $1 and $3 million, and 53 sold for over $3 million. So other than your under $1 million, which I said was what, 11, there's a good number of homes between 1 and 3 and then 3 and above. So like I said, it's not cheap to live in Wellesley, but you get a lot for your money moving into this town. You can rent in Wellesley. 116 homes were rented in 2024. The average rent was about $5,000. And if you don't want to rent and you don't want to own a single family, you can buy condos. Wellesley is currently developing a lot of condos, so that is a definite option for you. Last year, 80 condos sold in Wellesley. The average price was $1.9 million. So there are a good number of homes that are in that $1 million range in Wellesley. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a little bit of value out of this video. If you have questions about the Wellesley real estate market, definitely reach out. I am happy to chat anytime. And if Wellesley's not an option for you, but you want to talk about other cities and towns in and around Metro West Greater Boston, send me a message, put a comment down below. I always respond to comments and I always answer emails. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about the real estate market, living in Massachusetts, and life as a homeowner, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell to get notified whenever a new video drops. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.